What if I told you that in just 1 week, you could start seeing real, tangible changes in your life? No gimmicks, no vague advice, just practical, powerful habits that can shift your mindset, boost your productivity, and improve your overall well-being. I know it sounds ambitious, but I promise you these aren't just theories or recycled self-help tips. These are habits I personally integrated into my daily routine, and the results were astonishing. I went through the struggles, the breakthroughs, and ultimately the transformation, and now I'm excited to share them with you. So, whether you're looking to be more productive, cultivate better mental health, or just make your everyday life better, stick with me. These habits are simple yet deeply impactful, and the best part, you don't need months or years to see results. You'll feel the shift in just a week. So, grab a cup of coffee, find a comfortable spot, and let's dive right in. You're going to want to stay until the end because each habit comes with a personal story and actionable tips that you can start implementing today. Habit 1. Waking up early. Reclaiming my mornings. I used to hate mornings. My alarm clock was my enemy and the snooze button, my best friend. My mornings were a chaotic blur of rushing around, trying to get out the door on time and feeling already behind before my day even started. But one day I decided to try something different. I committed to waking up at 5 a.m. every day for a week. The first few mornings were brutal. My body resisted, my mind screamed for more sleep. But I pushed through, and by day 3, something magical started happening. I began to appreciate the quietness of the morning. The world was still asleep, and for the first time, I felt like I had control over my day before it even began. Instead of rushing, I had time to breathe, stretch, and ease into my morning. With those extra hours, I did things I had always wanted to do but never had time for. I started my day with light exercise, just some stretching and a short jog. It wasn't just about fitness. It was about waking my body up gently rather than shocking it with a chaotic morning rush. One morning I sat on my balcony and watched the sunrise. It was one of those simple yet profound moments where the world felt calm and I felt grateful just to be. That's when it hit me. Waking up early isn't just about having more time, it's about having better time. If you want to try this, don't force yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. overnight. Start small. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier each day and build from there. The key is to create a morning routine that excites you. Habit 2, daily exercise, moving for my mind, not just my body. I'll be honest, I used to hate working out. I had every excuse in the book. I don't have time, I'm too tired, I'll start next Monday. Sound familiar? But I challenged myself to move my body every single day for a week, just 20 minutes. No pressure to hit the gym for hours, just simple, consistent movement. At first, my muscles ached, my body resisted, but by the 4th day, something shifted. I woke up energized, my mood was better, I was less irritable, more positive, and for the first time in a long time, I actually looked forward to my workout. One morning, I went for a jog as the sun was rising. The crisp air, the quiet streets, the rhythm of my breathing, it felt freeing. I realized that exercise wasn't about looking good. It was about feeling good. It was my time to disconnect from the noise of the world and reconnect with myself. Another surprise? My confidence grew. Seeing small progress, being able to run longer, feeling stronger, gave me a sense of accomplishment. If you're struggling to start, don't overthink it. Find something you enjoy. Dancing, hiking, yoga, or even just a brisk walk. Just move, even if it's for 5 minutes. Your body and mind will thank you. Habit 3, journaling. The therapy I never knew I needed. I used to think journaling was for poets, writers, and people who had too much time on their hands. Turns out I couldn't have been more wrong. One night I sat down with a blank notebook and started writing. Nothing fancy, just whatever came to mind. How my day went, what made me happy, what stressed me out. At first, it felt awkward, but by the end of the week, something incredible happened. I started understanding myself better. I noticed patterns, how I stressed over things I couldn't control, how I let small problems ruin my entire day. One particular day at work had been rough. Normally I would have carried that stress into the next day, but instead I wrote it all down. What happened, how it made me feel, what I could do differently. And suddenly, I felt lighter. Writing was like emptying the clutter in my brain so I could think more clearly. I also started a gratitude section. Every day I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. Some days it was big things. Other days it was tiny moments, like a stranger holding the door open for me. But over time, this simple practice shifted my perspective from what was wrong to what was right. If you've never journaled before, just start small. No rules, no pressure. Just 5 minutes of writing your thoughts down. You'll be amazed at the clarity it brings. Habit 4. Digital detox, breaking free from the scroll. Let's be real, we're all addicted to our phones. I was constantly checking mine, scrolling through social media, comparing my life to strangers on the internet. And guess what? It was making me miserable. So I made a rule. No screens for the first and last hour of my day. At first I felt restless, but by day 3 my mind felt clearer. Instead of scrolling mindlessly at night, I read. Instead of checking notifications first thing in the morning, I sat in silence and enjoyed my coffee. The result? I felt more present, more focused, and less anxious. Try it. Set small boundaries like a no-phone rule during meals or keeping your phone out of your bedroom at night. You'll be surprised how much freedom you gain. Habit 5. Reading daily. Feeding my mind instead of consuming random content online, I started feeding my brain with books, just 10 pages a day. The result? I felt more inspired, more knowledgeable, and more motivated. Reading is like mental nutrition. It fuels your mind with new perspectives and ideas. Habit 6. Mindful eating. Actually tasting my food, I realized I was eating on autopilot, rushing through meals, barely tasting them. So I slowed down, I put my phone away, chewed slowly, and enjoyed my food. The difference? I felt more satisfied, made healthier choices, and actually appreciated what I was eating. Habit 7. Practicing gratitude. Shifting my perspective, every night I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. This simple habit rewired my brain to focus on the good rather than dwell on the bad. It's one of the easiest but most powerful habits you can develop. Final thoughts. Small changes, big impact. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Start with just one of these habits. Commit for a week. See what happens. I promise you, small intentional changes lead to massive transformations. Which habit will you try first? Let me know. I'd love to hear about your journey. Hey everyone, imagine if you could completely transform your daily routine in just 1 week. Sounds impossible, right? Well, I decided to put it to the test by adopting 7 powerful habits, ones that seemed simple but had a surprisingly profound impact on my life. From mindful eating to limiting screen time, here's how these small changes made a massive difference. 1. Journaling, a new way to clear your mind. I had never been a journaler before. The idea of writing down my thoughts felt unnecessary, but I decided to give it a shot. No fancy notebook, no rules, just pure, unfiltered thoughts on paper. The result? Surprisingly therapeutic. I wrote about my day, random reflections, and even things that frustrated me. The more I wrote, the more clarity I gained. Instead of overthinking, I found myself processing emotions in a healthier way. It was like a mental detox, and by the end of the week, I felt lighter. If you've never tried journaling, I highly recommend it. Don't worry about making it perfect, just let your thoughts flow. You might be shocked at how much clarity and peace it brings. 2. Mindful eating, enjoying food like never before. Like most people, I used to eat while scrolling on my phone or rushing through meals. I rarely paid attention to the taste of my food, I just ate. For 1 week, I committed to mindful eating. No screens, no distractions, just me and my meal. At first it felt odd to sit in silence with my food, but soon I started noticing things I'd never had before. The rich sweetness of honey in my oatmeal, the satisfying crunch of fresh vegetables, the warmth of my tea soothing my body. I also became more aware of how much I was eating. Eating slowly allowed me to recognize when I was full, preventing mindless overeating. One night, instead of automatically reaching for dessert, I paused and asked myself, am I really hungry? Turns out I just needed a cup of herbal tea, not sugar. Mindful eating changed my relationship with food. I felt more satisfied, made healthier choices, and truly enjoyed each meal. If you want to try it, start with just 1 meal a day. Sit down, take deep breaths, and really savor every bite. 3. Limiting screen time. Escaping the digital trap. This was a tough one. I spend so much time on my phone, scrolling through social media, watching YouTube videos, checking emails, but I started realizing that screens were consuming my time, draining my energy, and even affecting my sleep. So I set a rule: only 1 hour of non-work screen time per day. At first, I constantly reached for my phone out of habit, but as the days passed, I discovered something incredible. I suddenly had so much time. I picked up books I had neglected for months. I started sketching and journaling. I went for an evening walk instead of watching TV. The biggest win? Better sleep. Instead of scrolling through my phone at night, I read a physical book, meditated, or just reflected on my day. My sleep improved drastically. I woke up feeling refreshed rather than groggy. And here's something unexpected: I felt mentally lighter. Without the constant flood of social media, news, and online noise, my mind was clearer, my anxiety reduced, and I was more present in real life. If you're feeling drained by screens, try setting a daily limit. Even an hour less per day can make a huge difference. 4. Daily walks. A simple habit that changed everything. I always thought of exercise as something that required an intense gym session, but this week I decided to just walk every day. No headphones, no distractions, just me and the world around me. And wow, what a game changer. The fresh air, the movement, the sound of birds chirping, it all felt so refreshing. Walking became my escape from stress, a time to think, and a way to reset my mood. Plus, my energy levels soared. If you're looking for an easy but powerful habit, try adding a 20-minute walk to your day. You'll be amazed at how much better you feel. 5. Drinking more water. The underrated game changer. I'll be honest, I used to drink way too much coffee and not enough water. So for this experiment, I made a simple change. Drink at least 2 liters of water per day. The results? More energy, clearer skin, fewer headaches, less hunger. Turns out I was just thirsty. It's such a small habit, but it made a noticeable difference. If you struggle with water intake, try carrying a water bottle with you. Your body will thank you. 6. Morning meditation. Starting the day right. I used to wake up and immediately grab my phone, scrolling through notifications before even getting out of bed. So for this week, I decided to replace that habit with 5 minutes of meditation. At first, sitting in silence felt strange. My mind wandered constantly. But by the 3rd day, something shifted. I started feeling calmer, more focused, and less reactive throughout the day. Even just 5 minutes in the morning set the tone for a peaceful, productive day. It helped me feel more in control of my thoughts rather than letting them control me. If you want to try meditation, start small. Just a few deep breaths in the morning can make a difference. 7. Reading before bed, a simple way to sleep better for years. My bedtime routine included staring at my phone until I felt sleepy. But for this week, I replaced my phone with a physical book. The difference? My mind felt calmer before bed. I fell asleep faster. My sleep was deeper and more restful. It was a simple swap, but it completely changed my nights. If you struggle with sleep, try ditching screens before bed and reading a book instead. Final thoughts. Small habits, big changes. I never expected such small changes to have such a huge impact on my life. But after just 1 week, I felt more present, more energized, and more in control of my daily routine. If you're looking to improve your life, start with just one habit. Maybe it's journaling, walking, or reducing screen time. Whatever it is, commit to it for a week and see what happens. You might be surprised at how much better you feel. Which of these habits would you try first? Let me know in the comments.